Good day. Today, we'll be discussing a key topic in management, which is the employee motivation. We'll start off with the first question, which is why do managers have to worry so much about employee motivation issues? Motivated employees are the backbones of any successful organization. When motivation is low, it can lead to decreased productivity, high turnover, and also dissatisfaction. The reasons behind this can vary, and here are some of the key factors. First, we have the lack of recognition. When employees feel that their contributions is not acknowledged, whether through monetary rewards such as bonuses and also non-monetary rewards such as appreciation, this can lead to frustration and demotivation. Next, we have the poor working environment, which includes things such as inadequate resources, poor infrastructures, and also unsafe working environment. A subpar work environment negatively impacts not only productivity, but also the morale of employees. Another factor is the monotonous work. Repetitive tasks without the variety or meaningful challenges can make these employees feel disengaged and unfulfilled. And then we have the misaligned goals. When employees does not see how their work aligns with the organization's visions and values, it becomes hard for them to find purpose in what they do. And last but not least, we have the high workload. Unrealistic deadlines, long hours, and also excessive workloads can lead to burnout and hinder employee engagement. Managers must address these issues effectively to cultivate a motivated and committed workforce. Now that we've identified the reasons behind employee motivation issues, let's look at how the managers can address them. First approach is through the open book management programs. These programs empower employees by encouraging them to think like business owners. By creating a transparency in financials and sharing organizational goals, employees will feel more connected to the success of the company. Next, we have the pay for performance programs, which directly link to employees' compensation to their performance. For instance, managers can establish performance metrics and design compensation structure to reward employees who meet or exceed the expectations. This approach not only motivates employees but also aligns their goals with the organization's objectives. Another strategy is by implementing employee recognition program. Acknowledging and celebrating employees who excel in their roles boosts morale and inspires others. For example, is the Wall of Fame or the Employee of the Year awards, which publicly recognize the outstanding performance. By using these strategies, organizations can create motivated workforce and also foster a positive work culture. And now we are going to discuss about the next question. Let's dive into the concept of motivation. What exactly is motivation? Well, motivation can be defined as the process by which a person's efforts are energized, directed, and sustained towards achieving a specific goal. In simpler terms, it's what drives an individual to take action and remain focused. Motivation has three different key elements. The first one is the energy, which represents the intensity or drive behind an employee's efforts. Without energy, even the best goals will remain unachieved. Second element is the direction, meaningful that this energy must align with organizational goals and objectives. Motivation without direction can lead to misplaced efforts. The last but not least is the persistence. This involves remaining consistent and resilient even when challenges arise. Persistence ensures that employees don't give up when faced with difficulties. Together, these three elements, energy, direction, and also persistence, form the foundation of motivation and are essential for achieving both individual and also organizational success. In conclusion, understanding that employee motivation and addressing its challenges is crucial for any organization. By identifying factors that hinder motivation and implementing effective programs to address them, managers can foster a workplace environment that thrives on energy, direction, and also persistence.
Hello and hi everyone, my name is Lukman Hakim. So today I will be answering the question about contrast lower order and higher order needs in Maslow's needs hierarchy. Basically, in Maslow's hierarchy of needs, the needs are typically categorized into lower order and higher order needs based on their position in the pyramid and the role they play in motivating behavior. Lower order needs. lower order needs are primarily physiological and safety needs, which are more fundamental and biological in nature. They are the basic requirements that must be satisfied for survival and security. Let me explain first about physiological needs. These are the most basic human needs, including food, water, shelter, and sleep. These needs are essential for survival and must be met before any other needs can be addressed. For safety needs, once physiological needs are satisfied, safety needs become more prominent. These include physical safety, which is protection from harm, financial security like stable income, job security, and safety from emotional harm. Lower order needs are primarily intrinsic in nature, meaning that people are motivated to fulfill them through external factors like money, job security, or physical comfort. Once these needs are satisfied, they no longer motivate people in the same way. So now let's move into higher order needs. What is higher order needs? Higher order needs are more psychological and self-fulfilling, which they have social needs and esteem needs. They focus more on personal growth, social connections, and self-realization. First, let me explain about social needs. These needs relate to interpersonal relationships, including the desire for love, affection, friendship, and a sense of belonging to groups or communities. These could include friendships, family relationships, and social interactions at work or in other settings. For esteem needs, these needs are related to self-respect and the desire for recognition from others. Esteem needs can be split into two categories: self-esteem and esteem from others. Self-esteem is the internal feeling of self-worth and personal accomplishment. For esteem from others, like recognition, respect, and admiration from others, such as through praise or status. So, higher order needs are typically intrinsic in nature, motivating individuals through personal fulfillment, self-growth, and the pursuit of meaningful goals. These needs can become stronger once the lower order needs are sufficiently satisfied. In conclusion, lower order needs are foundational and must be addressed first, while higher order needs become more relevant as people achieve stability in their basic requirements and begin to seek more fulfilling, self-actualizing experiences. So now, I'm going to answer the next question, which is, what role would money play in the hierarchy of needs theory, two-factor theory, equity theory, expectancy theory, and motivating employees with a high need for achievement? Money plays different roles in each of the motivational theories. So now, let's break it down by each theory. First, hierarchy of needs theory. In Maslow's hierarchy, money primarily helps fulfill lower order needs such as physiological and safety needs. Like I explained before about lower order needs, once lower order needs are satisfied, money becomes less important for motivation and higher order needs take precedence. However, in the absence of money, individuals may struggle to move up the hierarchy as these basic needs will not be met. Secondly, two-factor theory, which is in other name is Herzberg. According to Herzberg's two-factor theory, money is considered a hygiene factor rather than a motivator. Hygiene factors. Money falls under hygiene factors which are necessary to prevent dissatisfaction but do not lead to long-term job satisfaction or motivation. Motivators, in contrast, factors like achievement, recognition, responsibility, and the work itself are true motivators that drive higher job satisfaction and motivation. Thus, while money helps maintain baseline satisfaction, it is not a strong motivator for job performance or personal growth. This is according to Herzberg. Thirdly, equity theory. In equity theory, money plays a critical role in how employees perceive fairness in the workplace. The theory is based on the principle of inputs, which what the employee contributes, and the outcomes, which what the employee receives in return. Employees compare their input-output ratio to that of others. If they feel they are not being compensated fairly relative to their peers in terms of money or other benefits, they may experience inequity and be demotivated. If this happens, they may adjust their behavior like reduce effort, seek higher pay, or most likely leave the organization just to restore balance. Thus, money serves as a key outcome in the comparison process and can impact motivation by ensuring perceived fairness and equity. Fourthly, expectancy theory. In expectancy theory, money is a form of reward that employees expect to receive for achieving certain levels of performance. The theory focuses on three components: expectancy, instrumentality, and valence. I will explain about these three components by giving an example. Expectancy. Working hard will lead to achieving a target. Instrumentality. Achieving the target will result in a bonus or raise. And a valence. How attractive the money or bonus is to the individual. Do you guys get it? Money is an important factor in instrumentality, which the connection between performance and reward, and valence, which how much the individual values the reward. If employees perceive that high performance will lead to attractive financial rewards like bonus or raise, they will be more motivated to perform. And lastly, motivating employees with a high need for achievement. For employees with a high need for achievement, money can play a role, but it is not the primary motivator. These individuals are typically motivated by challenging work, personal responsibility, and the desire for success and accomplishment. Like I said, money can play a role, but just as a secondary motivator. While money can serve as a recognition of success, like bonus for achieving goals, employees with a high need for achievement are more driven by the sense of personal achievement, the ability to set and reach goals, and the opportunity to demonstrate their competence. So, after all the theories I just explained earlier, I can conclude that while money is an important motivator in many situations, its role differs across motivational theories, varying from basic needs fulfillment to a form of recognition and reward based on performance.
The next question is, what are some of the possible consequences of employees perceiving an inequity between their inputs and outcomes and those of others? The first one is lower or higher productivity. Employees who feel undervalued may reduce their effort, leading to lower productivity, while those perceiving themselves as over-rewarded may temporarily increase output. The next one is improve or reduce quality of output. Perceptions of inequity can negatively impact the quality of work, as disengaged employees may rush tasks or neglect attention to detail, though equitable treatment could enhance output quality. The next one is increased absenteeism. Employees who feel unfairly treated may avoid the workplace, leading to higher rates of absenteeism as form of silent protest or disengagement. The last one is voluntary resignation. Perceived inequity often drives employees to seek opportunities elsewhere, resulting in increased turnover and the loss of valuable talent. So, what is the summary of case application number 1, the real living wage? So the first is, the UK introduced the national minimum wage in 1999 to ensure a standard hourly pay for all workers reviewed annually. The living wage campaign started in 2001 to promote wages that support basic living standards above the government minimum. In 2016, the UK implemented the national living wage for workers over 25 following years of advocacy. By 2019, over 4,700 employers, including a third of FTSE 100 companies, were accredited for paying the real living wage. IKEA implemented the living wage in 2016, benefiting 7,300 workers, improving motivation and reducing turnover. FC became the first Premier League club to adopt the living wage in 2014, covering both direct and contracted staff. Employers adapt the living wage to boost morale, reduce staff turnover, and improve their organizational reputation. Oxfam views living wages as essential for poverty reduction, while Nestle highlights the social impact and industry influence. Employees have reported significant life improvements such as affording mortgages and enjoying better financial security. Research shows living wage employers benefit from improved recruitment, retention, and enhanced staff motivation and reputation.
Hi everyone, my name is Imam Balkis and I'll be discussing question 1 and 2 of the first case application. Question 11-1, does this case support the myth at the beginning of the chapter? The myth is that paying high wages like a living wage only increases costs for companies and doesn't provide benefit. This case proves that the idea is wrong, and it shows that when companies like IKEA and Chelsea FC start paying a real living wage, they got a positive result, such as employees live a better life when they earn higher wages. They will experience financial stability, reducing stress about covering essential costs like rent, utilities, and groceries. They can afford healthier lifestyle, including better food, healthcare, and preventive measures, which contribute to overall well-being and productivity. Secondly, it can lower staff turnover as higher wages make employees feel valued, increasing their loyalty and commitment to the company. Not to mention, businesses benefit from lower turnover, saving on recruitment, onboarding, and training costs. Plus, retaining experienced employees ensures continuity in operation, preserve institutional knowledge, and enhance team cohesion over time. Last but not least, improve businesses' reputation. For example, when companies that prioritize fair wages earn a reputation as ethical employers, attracting top talent in competitive job market. Positive public perception strengthened as brand loyalty among customer and stockholder who prefer supporting businesses that take care of their workers. So instead of being just a cost, paying higher wages actually helps the company by improving employees' loyalty, motivation, and stability. For the next question, do you think the increase in motivation is only about extra money? No, the increase in motivation is not solely about extra money, though financial incentive can play a significant role. Motivation is a complex phenomenon influenced by various factors like intrinsic factor and social and psychological factor. Firstly, purpose and meaning in work drive motivation by giving employees a sense of belonging and significance, as they can see how their efforts contribute to something larger than themselves, fostering deeper engagement and satisfaction. Next, recognition and appreciation will make employees feel seen and appreciated, boosting their confidence and reinforcing positive behavior, which leads to higher motivation and stronger connection within the team. In addition, motivation also driven by social and psychological factors. For example, strong, positive relationship among co-workers at work create a sense of community where employees feel supported by peers and leaders, fostering a collaborative environment that enhances motivation and job satisfaction. Next, fairness and equity create a sense of trust and respect in the workplace. When employees feel they are treated equally in terms of pay, workload, and opportunities for growth, they are more likely to stay motivated, collaborate effectively, and remain committed to the organization. In short, the extra money improves motivation, but how the company treats its worker also plays a big role.
Let's move on to case application 1, discussion question 11-13. So, will these benefits to the organizations be seen if middle or higher wage rates had been increased? My answer for this question is yes, there will still be some benefits,
but they would be less pronounced compared to the impact on lower income workers. So let's compare the benefits for higher and middle income workers with lower income workers to make it more easier to understand. So first, we take a look at benefits in terms of motivations and productivity. So for middle and high income workers, their basic needs are already met. So as a result, wage increases have limited impact on their motivation and also productivity. But however, for low income workers, the story is different. Wage increases reduce financial stress and allow workers to focus better on their jobs, leading to higher motivation and improved productivity. So the next one is turnover reductions. So for middle and higher income workers, financial concerns are not as significant for them. Therefore, wage increases tend to have a limited effect on turnover. But on the other hand, for low-income workers, wage increases reduce financial stress and help them feel more secure, which result in lower turnover rates. And this benefits the organizations by reducing recruitment and training costs. So finally, let's consider the overall organizational impact. So for middle and high income workers, wage increases provide a smaller return on investment in terms of productivity and loyalty, offering only modest benefits. But in contrast, wage increases for low-income workers have a greater impact on morale, retentions, and productivity, which directly benefits the organization. So overall, my point here is, while wage increases for middle and high-income workers also can bring some benefits, but they are far more significant for low-income workers. So next, for the case application 1, discussion question 1114, which is the question is, do you see any long-term issues with these increases in wage levels? So let's discuss the answers. So yes, there will be some long-term issues when there is increases in wage levels. So the first issue is increased operational costs. So when wage rises, businesses may face challenges in maintaining profitability. So they might struggle to sustain higher wages without passing this cost on to consumers. So potentially leading to higher prices and reduce their competitiveness, especially in global markets. So the next one is inflationary pressures. So widespread wage increases can contribute to inflation, while higher wages initially boost spending power. So inflation diminishes these benefits over time, eroding the real value of earnings and creating a cycle of wage demands. So the third issue is inequality perception. So wage adjustment, if not evenly distributed, can lead to tension within the workforce. So for instance, lower wage employees might feel unfairly treated compared to higher earners, so potentially affecting workplace morale and unity. So the last issues is we have wage expectations. So employees might begin to expect regular wage increases, which can create additional financial pressures on employers. So over time, this expectation may lead to conflicts if businesses are unable to meet such demand.
So for the summary of case application number 2, the first one is some companies like Netflix, LinkedIn, and Virgin America after unlimited vacation policies, but only 1 to 2% of US companies have adopted this approach. Unlimited vacation is seen as a way to address employee stress caused by overwork, tight deadlines, and high expectations of availability. Employees often hesitate to use unlimited vacation due to fears of judgment or concerns about how it may appear to colleagues and managers. Companies also adopt to unlimited vacation policies to attract and retain top talent, especially in competitive labor markets. Kronos, a software company, implemented an unlimited vacation policy to improve recruitment and employee satisfaction. The next one is managers initially resisted the policy at Kronos due to concerns about ability, scheduling conflicts, and potential misuse by employees. Kronos addressed managerial concerns through coaching, training, and support from HR to handle potential conflicts. Employees who previously banked unused vacation time for cash reimbursement, expressed dissatisfaction with the change. To address concerns, Kronos redirected unused vacation accrual funds toward benefits like retirement contributions, child care support, and student loan assistance. Kronos worked to resolve fairness concerns among long-tenured employees by engaging in individual conversations to address their needs.
Hi, I'm Hidayat and today we'll be discussing the questions 11-15. What are the pros and cons of unlimited vacations policies for both employees and for organizations? So the first point for the employees section, which is the greatest sense of trust, this statement states that offering unlimited vacation reflects an organization's trust in its employees to manage their responsibilities and their time effectively, which leading to the fostering loyalty and respect to the employer. The second point, which is the alignment with the modern values, for millennials and Gen Z workers, they value flexibility and autonomy, which are the core values. An unlimited vacation policy aligned with this expectation will be making the jobs more attractive to the younger professionals. For organization part, the differentiator in recruitment in industries with talent shortages will benefits like unlimited vacations serve as a competition advantage to stand out from traditional employers. And the second point, which is the reduced administrative overhead. So without the need to track vacation balances, HR teams can focus on strategic initiative rather than routine calculations and compliance with vacation accrual policies. Now let's move on to cons, which is for employee parts, the psychological barriers, which will make employees might hesitate to take vacations due to implicit workplace norms. They will be fearing judgment or the perceptions of being less committed. This is particularly true in competitive or high pressure work cultures. Second point, which is inequitable use of policies. Employees in senior roles or those with flexible workloads might use more vacation time compared to those in operational or client-facing roles, creating a divide within teams. So for organizations, lack of predictability, without a clear structure, it is challenging to anticipate employee absence, leading to potential disruptions in project timelines or client commitments. The second point, conflict resolution issues, which will be happening in teams with overlapping responsibilities. This dispute can arise when multiple employees request vacation simultaneously. This requires clear policy for prioritizations, adding complexity to management. So let's moving on to the questions 11-16, which is why do you think some companies are moving to unlimited vacation policies? It is feasible in small companies. So the first point, why, which is mitigating employees burnout, which high level of burnout lead to absenteeism, turnover and decrease in productivity, which is not good. So unlimited vacation policies encourage employees to rest proactively, promoting long-term and well-being and retention. So the second point, which is the cost optimizations. For let's look on the traditional vacation policies requires company to compensate employees for unused leave, creating financial liabilities. So with unlimited vacations, it will eliminate this, offering financial predictability for the organization. So the advantages, which is agility in implementation. For small companies, often have fewer layers of bureaucracy, making it easier to introduce and monitor new policy like the unlimited vacation. The second point, which the close-knit culture. With the smaller teams, there is often a strong sense of trust and communications among employees, and then this will lead to reducing the risk of policy misuse. So let's see the challenges for the small companies, which is the crucial one, which is the resource constraints. Unlike larger companies, small businesses might lack the bandwidth to redistribute workloads when employees are on vacation. This can strain remaining team members, leading to frustration and decreased morale. So let's look onto the factors that we need to consider for small companies, which is the first point is structured guidelines. To balance the flexibility and operational needs, small companies should implement clear policies such as the approval process, blackout periods, or vacation limits in critical periods. The second point, which is the encouraging transparency. So with the open communications about the vacation plans, ensures all team members are aligned and can plan accordingly. And the next point, which is the pilot program, which will benefit the small businesses, can test the feasibility of unlimited vacation policies through trial periods, collecting feedbacks to make informed decisions.
Now let's take a look at the question 11 of 17 on what impact might managers or team leaders have on whether employees actually take advantage of an unlimited vacation policy. So the managers and team leaders play a pivotal role in determining whether employees feel comfortable taking advantage of an unlimited vacation policy. Their actions, communications, and overall leadership style can either encourage or discourage employees from utilizing such policies. So here are some of the key factors to consider. Let's look at the first factor, and that is leading by example. So employees often look to managers for behavioral cues. If managers don't take time of themselves or appear to overwork, their employees may feel guilty or fear judgment for doing so. So, to solve these matters, the manager should demonstrate the policy in action by taking their own vacations, emphasizing the importance of rest and work-life balance. Next, let's look at the next factor, and that is clear communication. The ambiguity around the expectations for taking unlimited vacation can create anxiety. So the employees may fear it might reflect poorly on their commitment to work or lead to negative consequence. So to avoid this matter from happening, the managers must explicitly encourage the use of vacation and normalize it as a healthy and necessary practice. Now let's look at the last factor, and that is managing workload. So the employees may hesitate to take vacations if they feel their workload will pile up or if they think their absence will burden their team. So, to solve this, the team leaders can proactively discuss workload distribution before the employees take time off, ensuring the tasks are covered and reduce the employee stress. Now we will be answering question 11-18. So, do you think there might be generational differences in how employees feel about unlimited vacation? Explain your answer. So, for me, yes, generational differences likely influence on how employees feel about unlimited vacation policies, as attitude toward work, rest, and workplace expectation vary across generation. Here's a breakdown by generation. Let's look at the first one, and that is baby boomers. 1946 until 1964. They're quite skeptical and underutilizing. Many baby boomers view unlimited vacation as risky or unearned, as they grew up in a work culture that valued hard work above all mindset, causing them to hesitate whenever they want to use a vacation unless explicitly encouraged by their leader. Let's look at the next gen, and that is Generation X, 1965 until 1980. They're practical but cautious. Generation X employees value flexibility but prefer clear guidelines. They also often balance work with a caregiving responsibility, making time off essential for them. And they are likely to use the vacation, but only if the expectation is clearly communicated or if their culture is supportive. Let's look at millennials, 1981 until 1996. They are flexibility focused. They often see unlimited vacation as a key perk because of their style of prioritizing work-life balance and mental health. They also may push the boundaries of the policy, but they could also feel frustrated if the culture or workload barriers limit their ability to take the advantage of it. And lastly, Generation Z, 1997 until 2012. They are supportive and experimental. Gen Z employees are entering the workforce with strong expectations for flexibility, autonomy, and mental well-being. They are the most likely to see unlimited vacation as a given rather than a bonus. They are likely to actively use and advocate for the policy, but may need coaching on how to balance it with professional goals. So in summary, attitudes vary widely, with older generation being more cautious and younger one more enthusiastic. So tailored communications and clear policies can help bridge the gaps.
So for the question for case application 2 is how might unlimited employee vacation might affect employee motivation. Unlimited employee vacation can significantly affect employee motivation, but the impact depends on how the policy is implemented and perceived. The unlimited vacation policy has both of the effects, positive and negative impacts. It really depends on how it is managed by the admins. So the positive impacts we can see is increased autonomy. Employees feel trusted to manage their time, which can boost intrinsic motivation. Reduce burnout. Employees can take time off as needed, leading to better work-life balance and lower stress. Attracting and retaining talent. An unlimited vacation can make a company more attractive to top talent. An example of a company that successfully implemented the unlimited vacation policy is Netflix. The company is often seen as the pioneer in offering this type of policy. Netflix places emphasis on what employees achieve rather than how many hours they work. As Netflix is one of the leading streaming service in the world, their most of their work is basically creative based, not the office works. So Netflix focuses on employees' creativity rather than how much they work, and they implemented the unlimited vacation policy very well, and for which they have been very successful with this policy. So in this part, we're gonna see the negative impacts of unlimited vacation on employee motivation. So the first thing we can see is ambiguity and guilt. Some employees may take less vacation than they would under a traditional policy, fearing judgment from peers or management. And another one is risk of abuse. A small number of employees might exploit the policy, causing resentment among colleagues and burdening teams. And another one is pressure to overperform. If the company culture emphasizes overwork, employees may avoid taking time off to prove their commitment. As I said earlier, the unlimited vacation policy, it completely depends on how the company implements this policy. Earlier we saw Netflix, because Netflix implemented this vacation policy very nicely, for which they succeeded. But on the other hand, we can see a Kickstarter, a crowdfunding platform, failed to properly implement the unlimited vacation policy, which forced the company to go back to the traditional time of policy. One of their biggest weakness was cultural mismatch. Kickstarter aimed to foster flexibility and autonomy, while employees preferred more structure and clarity around vacation expectations. And this created barrier among the employees and the management, for which the policy really didn't work for Kickstarter, and forcing them to go back to the traditional time of policy.